There isn't even that much time to say stuff because we're already counting down to game number 1. It's going to be in Foxtrot Labs. See you in game. Welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters San Jose online qualifiers, ladies and gentlemen. For the European region, we have a pretty sick TVZ coming up here against two people who we have already seen win today in Sao Paulo, I almost said, in San Jose. However, one of them at this point is going to be going home. The question is which one? Spawning in the bottom right-hand position of Foxtrot Labs as the red Terran player, currently teamless, and in case I need to remind you, just knocked an extremely powerful champion out of the bracket. Ladies and gentlemen, we have representing himself, it is Happy. And I suspect after knocking MMA out, there's a good chance that a couple of teams will be knocking on his door. What an incredible performance. However, we have an extremely popular and an extremely talented Zerg player representing Team Liquid, who spawns as the blue player in the top left corner of this map. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the little one, TLO. Alright. Hatch first coming down. This is pretty exciting stuff, guys. I don't know who's going to take this series, and they're two very popular players. Happy's definitely just gained a couple of fans. For those of you who perhaps are either new to social media or don't currently follow these guys, Happy, by the way, is at happy_SC2 on Twitter. Go ahead and give him a follow. And if you're already following him, do tweet at him and let him know how amazing that series against MMA was, because I bet he is over the moon. Of course, he still needs to focus on this tournament right now as the first Reaper comes out, but he wants to hear your support, and support's great, but having the players hear about it is even better. And of course, this guy at Liquid TLO. What a cool series he played earlier on as well. Make sure you go ahead and shout at him after this tournament and just let him know how much you appreciate seeing his excellent games. Now, we have a bunker going down here, perhaps trying to scare TLO into thinking we actually have a bit of 2 racks action popping down. Is this going to force a couple of drones to be pulled? It doesn't look like it at the moment, because the hatch is simply going to complete, and he's just going to allow one drone to continuously harass here. But this Overlord is going to spot that a Reaper's on its way. So if this bunker completes, that could actually be a really, really frustrating situation for him to be in. And there are the first 4 lings. But here is the first Reaper, and just about surviving there, trying to get a link to kill it off, and the SCV just about makes it inside the bunker. Okay, and this was a little bit of a miscalculation from TLO. To be fair, by miscalculation, I mean it was so close. That SCV is on 5 health. Those first 4 links should have been able to do the job, but they couldn't. And this bunker is covered in creep, but I'll tell you what, it's doing okay so far, and it looks like the first 4 links are probably going to go down, because you've got the queen on the high ground, on the high ground as well. The bunker will not get to be salvaged, but a decent number of links were killed here, and the second Reaper also coming out to help. What is the damage so far? 1 worker killed, and we have a total of 143, very precise number there, minerals lost, and that's partly because of the cancels on the gas, I would suspect, from our Zerg player. Happy behind this has gotten his second base here. He's going to be doing that right under the nose, of course, of this Overlord, and I suspect he'll be going straight into a starport, just like he has done in previous games. We also have, by the way, the second refinery going up, so leaving open the possibility of some sort of Banshee play, especially since he's continuing to grab that gas. Only 1 worker in here at the moment, so, you know, leaving his options open, but he has got the tech lab already going down on this barracks, so we'll find out if we have Cloak to accompany these Banshees, like we saw in his TVT against MMA. Speed's about to finish for TLO, and there's no bunker up, by the way, for Happy. So this is going to be incredibly annoying, and I just wanted to deliver these minerals, but unfortunately not going to be able to do that just now. A couple of speedlings now. Ooh. SCV does not... The SCV would much rather trade places with these Hellions right now. Happy's like, guys, let me in. Please let me in. Please. But anyway, we've got Happy sitting on 233 gas, and indeed we have got Cloak starting. Now, getting these Hellions actually downstairs, if you like, and picking off these Zerglings are going to be useful, because if the Zerglings get to this point, I think they'll be able to see, just about see, the Tech Lab researching Cloak. So denying that scouting information could be useful, although frankly now, this Overlord might just do the same thing. Yes, in fact, there's just a single Marine at this point, and I think he's going to be able to spot it. Is TLO adjusting the course on that too much? He is! He's going to adjust it in such a way... Is he going to realize he needs to see the start? No! It's actually moving further away, and this second Marine should be able to kill it off. Oh, he's realized what's happening now, and he's moving back towards it. Is he going to see the Tech Lab? Yes, he is. Alright, so the second Marine not quite able to make it. TLO just about spots the Cloaks coming in time. Now, of course, Happy still has the opportunity to cancel it, and behind this, we immediately see a Spore Crawler going up in the main, a Spore Crawler going up in the natural here, as well as a Spine Crawler out front to try and deter any sort of Hellion harassment on the edge of his creep spread. The worker situation is currently 29-40 in TLO's favor, so TLO continuing to drone up comfortably behind us, just getting a couple of lings as a precaution. And the Spire has just started for him as well, so behind the mineral line in his main base. And we're actually going to be seeing a bit of a defensive posture here by the looks of things. The Banshee is going to be going possibly for a straight-on attack with these Hellions. It doesn't look like he's moving out around the map at present. He just wants to get as much DPS in this army composition as possible. More and more Hellions are coming out here. We could even see an MMA-style push by the looks of things coming out from Happy, based on what we saw in that previous game. Another Banshee coming out. So it looks like it could be a 1-1-1-esque push here, if you like. We have these Hellions now knocking on the front door of TLO. Is there a second Spine Crawler incoming? Yes, there is, actually. So he's pretty serious about trying to defend this, not wanting it to do too much damage at all. A third Spine Crawler being started. There are 2 Spore Crawlers, by the way, and 3 Spine Crawlers now in total here. And they're morphing into Hellbat. Here we go. Hellbat, Banshee timing. Is this going to be enough to break TLO? Happy moving forward. That's a lot of Zerglings, but that is a lot of Hellbats. And oh my god, the Zerglings evaporate so quickly. It's not over yet there. The Queens are still alive. The 2 Spine Crawlers in production are still here, but 2 cloaked Banshees make this incredibly difficult. The Spore Crawlers haven't been able to get much damage done on them just yet. And these Hellbats are slowly being whittled down at the cost of a lot of lings, though. It's got to be said. And oh, a couple of decent shots off on the drones. Not that many getting killed just yet, though. It has to be said. And it looks like this attack's just about being held up, but the Banshees are still alive. We need to see a Spore Crawler perhaps move itself towards these 2 gases. What is the worker damage? It's 11-10 this game so far. It's stabilized at 36 versus 32. TLO did not, I repeat, did not overdo the defense there. That was just very, very well held. You could see how scary those Hellbats were. I mean, lings came out and they were just toast. But TLO just needed them to delay because we now have the Mutalisks on the field. So we're now going to enter a period in the game where TLO is the player who's going to have that map dominance, and he's going to be able to move across the map as he so wishes thanks to these Mutalisks. We'll see what he chooses to do. He could prepare a huge attack. He could be going immediately for a couple of expansions once these Hellions are off the field, because you don't really want a unit that moves this quickly to be constantly scouting around. Heck, if we go Wellmu style, we could just go ahead and grab the gold off of this. Who knows? We'll find out what he does in just a second, as the last of the Hellions will go down. A single cloaked Banshee is going to be as annoying as possible inside the main base. Will he get a Queen for his troubles? The answer is nope. Really nice distraction there. Oh, he is going to get a Queen for his troubles. TLO perhaps going back a little bit too late. They're going to have to rebirth that Queen ASAP. And, well, this is actually a frustrating situation for him. He shouldn't lose too much more, though, and this Mutalisk will be able to clean it up. We now have a counterattack going on at Happy's natural expansion. That bunker is really far away from where these units are going to be coming in, and that's a lot of Banelings morphing. And, well, we have a missile turret here. That's going to be frustrating, but the Mutalisks aren't going to be able to pick apart the Hellbats, and that's a very frustrating position to be in because there are Banelings morphing inside his mineral line right now, and as soon as those Banelings morph in, I think the rest of the army can come by, and here we go. Massive Baneling detonations there. The missile turret goes down, and these Mutalisks now own this mineral line. Yes, there is the bunker there still, but more Banelings can be morphed in, and TLO is having the time of his life right now, picking off as many of these SCVs as he can. Is this counterattack going to be enough? Happy down to 43 supply right now. Nothing's going on inside the main base, but more and more units are streamed across the map. I think this is going to be a little bit too much for him in game number 1, and TLO is on the cusp of taking a 1-0 lead, I think, into the rest of this series. A Thor is now out, and there are 2 missile turrets here as well. The Mutas definitely have to back off, but look at this. 3 orbital commands, perhaps a little bit too greedy in this particular scenario because the natural expansion has now been overrun. Yes, he's got triple mule, but it is still off of a single base. And while these lings are going to get cleaned up, well, the question has to be, but at what cost? Because at the end of the day now, Happy is struggling to mine. He's got SCVs repairing Thors. Can he even repair them fast enough to stop these lings? It looks like he just... no! He won't be able to. These lings are constantly overrunning everything, and this could actually just be it. The Banshee will be able to clean this up, but it's going to take so long. TLO, by the way, is no longer streaming units across the map. He is macroing up behind this and getting more and more drones, saturating. He is grabbing that gold base behind this as well, because he knows how long it's going to take for Happy to re-establish his position here at the natural, gooping up as well the factories. I love this. Against a meching player, it's so important to make sure their production is as slow as possible, because really that's the limiting factor, let's be honest. If you could get mech units out as quickly as bio units, then mech would just be the way to go every single bloody game. But it's not always that simple, as we know, because this is StarCraft 2. Worker supply, guys, 38 versus 14, and that's why TLO is taking the gold base. He's also taking his normal third as well, and he's going to send a couple of mutas across the map and continue harassment for good measure. Why? Because Happy is confined to his base right now. This game is TLO's to win. But that said, you know, there's still static defense here. There are still Thors. If you're not careful, a couple of volleys from Thors can take out a whole bunch of Mutalisks, and admittedly, it's not just going to take that for TLO to lose this game right now. We'll probably need that combined with Happy comfortably taking out a hatchery or two. But it's still within the realms of possibility. It still can happen here. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that. Look, immediately Spine and Spore at the gold base. He's like, right, well, I don't really want to get harassed here. I just want to be happy, macroing up, grabbing 200 out of 200. And saying, you know what, I'm going to be able to max out and constantly hit you, and know that your mech army isn't going to be able to get up to that lovely 160, 170 supply, where Terran players are so often more comfortable moving out. There are no siege tanks here, by the way. We have a lot of Hellbats, we have Banshees, we have Thors, but no siege tanks, which means a potential ground wave could end up doing a lot here. And actually, I think that's what this is for. TLO might have spotted this. The Roach Warren is about to complete. The Roaches are good against mech anyway, or at least the unit of choice that can be reproduced very quickly, but Siege Tank splash damage is great against Roaches, and we don't actually have any out for Happy right now, so it's possible that if TLO just maxes out on Roaches right now, he could win the game straight up. He's still enjoying a 111 as over 72 supply advantage over him at the moment. Those Hellions moving across that cleaning bot and trying to pick apart as many of these gold drones as possible, which is a good move, by the way. Oh, very nice actually, that last volley. And they're going to see if they can follow the drones out. Will successfully pick off a large number of them, going up to 43 workers killed this game. TLO now is on 46 workers versus 35 from Happy. However, he is 4 bases versus 2 right now, and one of those bases is a gold, although nothing's mining from it right now. Very good harassment coming out there from Happy. And Happy's going to have to keep up a couple more attacks like this. And there's a big ground attack swelling in now. We have the Banshees trying to blunt the initial pressure. Unfortunately, there are Overseers with this, and ein Mutalisk at the moment, so not that many. He's going to see if he can't blow this apart. There are a couple of siege tanks here, at least one of them in siege mode. Very nice positioning of that missile turret as well, allowing the Banshees to defend as much as possible. And that forces TLO to basically do all of his damage with the initial push, because over time the Banshees coupled with the static defense will take this army out. So he needs to maybe morph in a ridiculous number of Banelings and get all his damage done if he wants to break this now within the first couple of seconds of this engagement. And with this many siege tanks and Thors, I'm not convinced he can do that right now. So Happy is doing everything in his power to take his third, secure it, and just try and move forward with this game right now. But here comes TLO. The tanks aren't fully in siege mode yet. Let's see if something can be done here. The Muta's coming in from behind as well. The Thors are going to prioritize the Mutalisks right now, and it looks like the Roaches are going to be enough to take this out. The static defense isn't there. There are 2 more unsieged tanks, but there are more than enough Roaches to take care of this at the moment, and the supply for Happy is plummeting. All of the mech he just produced is now down the drain. And GG is called. Liquid's TLO, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be winning game number 1.